Hi everybody, this is Kevin and welcome to another manga review, and today we're going to take a look at Eden Zero Volume 2 from Hiro Mashima, the creator of Fairy Tail. And well, with the first volume we were introduced to our main cast of characters, Shiki, Rebecca, and of course Happy returning from Fairy Tail, and laid out the groundwork to our series. And basically it's set in space. It's, Mashima mentioned in the afterword that it's not sci-fi, it's space fantasy. That's what FS stands for in his mind. And they're on their quest to find Mother, who is this being who no one's ever seen before, while Shiki claims that he has seen her before, and everyone looked at him like he was completely nuts. So they're on a ship, and they're looking for Professor Weiss, who is this guy right here, well, a younger version of him, and who had fixed Happy back in the day. And Rebecca's like, we gotta go to Planet Norma and find him, and that's just what they're doing. So this is Volume 2, Iron Tears. And different from the first volume there was only 4 chapters, and that was because one of them was like 80 pages, and typically with new manga, new series, and with finales, they do longer chapters, as opposed to like American comics sticking to the 32 pages. And manga is more liberal in the fact that, they just tell a story, and it doesn't matter how many pages they are. So, here you get this woman here, Ziyamo or Ziyami. She's the story's narrator, and she mentions how in the last volume at the end there, they went 20,000 years into the future, and she's like, well, don't regard time. There's a lot of time traveling shenanigans in this book, so just disregard it. And here's like a pinup. Once again, Mashima is very into drawing the sexy ladies, that's for sure. And little recap right here, basically catching up on what happened with the first volume. And they're on this planet Norma now looking for Professor Weiss. And they find this anime dude. And he's like, who the hell are you? And they're like, well, we're looking for Professor Weiss. And he's like, Professor Weiss, get out of this house. Wait a minute. And Shiki has these goggles on where he can see things. He sort of saw through Rebecca's clothes at the end of the last volume. And there's all sorts of chaos going on. All these guys looking for him. And this dude runs away. He's Professor Weiss. I'll just come out and say it right there. A younger version of him. And anyway, this guy shows up and is warning of this villain known as Sabir. And he's looking for anyone who betrays him. And, Rebecca's mentioned, here's Professor Weiss right here. And they're like, whoa, that's got to be him set in the future. Because, look, he's got like the eyebrow thing going. Where do we see him in like the first page? See? Sort of similar. They're the same thing. Essentially, it's him 50 years younger, and they're caught in this time loop on this planet Norma, where it's set 50 years in the past. And they recount their time with Professor Weiss in the current timeline when they were younger, and it's like, oh, the planet's dying, you got to go to Blue Garden, and I'll just stay here. So, and then they look at how, it's older technology, and, well, they're in the past, and they're like, whoa, what's going on? He's younger Professor Weiss. So now in this chapter, we get all sorts of mech stuff going on. And this guy is Sabir. He's the villain in this mech suit. And he's like, you will pay. And you also saw Weiss here, or Weiss. I'm going to call him Weiss. I know I'm confused with how to pronounce names here, but it is what it is. So he had a briefcase that he stole from Sabir. And he thinks that there's like money in it. However, there's not. But anyway, there's this great big battle going on. And he's using his ether gear and all sorts of other cool stuff. And then they escape and make their way to a bar. And Shiki, just look at his face. They're hanging out in a bar, and he's checking out the hot bunny babe server. And Rebecca's like, you got to stop staring at people. They're all aliens. I mean, you got to, like, chill out a little. And he's just like, oh, aliens, yeah. And they're at the bar, and they bump arms. And, of course, Weiss is standing right next to him, or sitting right next to them. And, yo, we need help, dude. What are you doing? And then they take a look at the briefcase here. And, it's turning into an RPG here. And he changes job class from adventurer to thief and steals the briefcase. And then it opens, and you find this creature in here. You're not handling with care, are you, master? What in the cosmos? And he thought, of course, it was money, but it's actually a robot. I don't see my master. I'm an anti-bot android. My name is E.M. Pino, but call me Pino. And it uses electromagnetic pulses, EMP, to turn, electronics off, and it turns off Happy for a minute. You see he goes dark. What? I'm back to work. Will you be my friend? So, of course, Shiki, with the power of friendship, makes a new friend here. And E.M. Pino is actually the property right now of Sabir, and returns to his master, which they do. And then you got a flashback here of Sabir torturing E.M. Pino, stolen from somebody, and says, do a dance. And Pino says, I'm an anti-bot droid. I'm not programmed to dance. And Sabir rips the android's leg off. It's so sad. Damage to the leg. Damage, the doll says. And they're just torturing this poor robot here. And, Shiki gets emotional and says, we gotta save our new friend here. So everyone's perplexed here, especially Rebecca and Happy, who are like, we can't really meddle in the past because of Back to the Future nonsense. But as explained by the story's narrator, there's all sorts of time travel shenanigans in here, and not to worry. So here's Sabir and his gang of crooks. And Whis used to work for Sabir, but of course now betrayed him. And they're on their way to rescue their friend Pino. So they're on their way back, and actually Pino makes her way back, and Sabir is about to rip her leg off when Whis saves the day and actually defends the little android there. And then our gang of friends race their motorcycle right through all these people, and all sorts of crazy battle stuff going on. And then this giant thing, like this giant anvil, falls on Shiki, but he'll be all right. He's got all sorts of magic powers to survive. So then Sabir sends his sidekicks here, the Foot Brothers, to attack Rebecca, and we saved Pino here, and he's like, well, I'm still programmed to help my master, and Happy's saying, well, no, run away with us. You're our friends now. And with that anvil falling on Shiki, he finds all these other robots, and it looks similar to his friend Michael from the beginning of the book. And he starts talking to all these robots, and they're like, we're the former dolls and robots of Sabir, and we were cast aside after we stopped working. This is a dump, essentially, for old robots. And the Foot Brothers are attacking. And then look at his face down here. And he starts going, hold it right there. You have mighty fine legs. Yeah, beautiful legs. Legs? And she starts blushing. You're creeping me out, you pervs. Let me see those legs. I guess they're French or something with their accent. So Shiki comes out there and saves the day. Gravity windmill kick. No way, he beat the Foot Brothers. And still he defeats him, and they're like, your legs, show us your legs. Bunch of crazy people. So Sabir here, you notice he has like his robotic arm, and Shiki's going to battle to save his new friends. And Pino, through watching all this, is getting sad because, he's programmed to work for Sabir, but has these new friends now and wants to save the day. And Shiki's about to get crushed by this, mech. And Pino steps in and uses the EMP, the electromagnetic pulse, and shuts down all robots. Shuts down Sabir and his robotic arm as Whis is about to shoot him. However, the gun doesn't work because of the electromagnetic pulse. And you can see his robotic arm falls off to show, he's a skinny, scrawny twerp. And Pino saves the day, and they're all friends. Yes, we're friends. Tears of joy. And the power of friendship succeeds yet again. So now they're all on the run, being chased by the police because they're from a different time zone, and they're causing all this violence. And they get in their Aqua Wing ship here to escape, but they're getting caught up by the police. And Whis turns out he's a stowaway on the ship because the four of them left without Whis. And then he appears and he's like, oh, let me have the ship. I'll get us into space. Here's another great pinup of our cast of characters there, including the bunny girl. So they agree to let Whis take control of the ship, and you see he has the ether gear on his arm as well, and he's able to bypass all the computers and basically make the ship super fast, and they escape into space, and he's also able to fix Pino's leg. So it's a little happy ending right there, and they make their way out, and now they're talking to the professor from the current timeline, and he's an old man, and he's just chilling. He's mentioning that they were on Norma, and a space monster known as a chronophage stopped the time from progressing in that planet, and it's basically on a no-fly list, and you can't go there anymore. And you see he's chilling with the bunny babe from before. So some funny stuff there. And then the younger Whis is looking at it. I'm like, oh, I'm going to get a receding hairline. I don't want that. So through their travels, they see this pirate ship. Space pirates, what's going on? What in the cosmos is going on? And then this Elsie Crimson, who we saw at the end of the last volume, shows up. And she says, I found you, Shiki. She was looking for him at the end there. Because on behalf of the Demon King. So they are attacked by the space pirate ship here. And they're boarding it. And what happens is they come up with a plan to sort of hijack her ship because it's bigger. And they make their way onto the ship here. And they find it's like sort of like alien. It's infected with all these monsters and these eggs, and apparently the space pirates all turn into like tentacle octopus monsters, and they start attacking. And he's like, "Space is awesome!" And then you get this this scene here for those that are into it, and the tentacles wrap Rebecca up like that. And then one of the space pirates is being like a perv, like, "Oh, I'm gonna take some pictures of you, girl." They always got to add that. That's like Mashima's big thing here. So then it turns out that Elsie is a robot herself, also like a robot octopus, because she has her tentacles, and she's battling Shiki, and mentioning the fact that she held the Demon King in high regard, and it gives some flashbacks of Shiki being taught his ether gear and Magimech attacks by the Demon King on Granbull back when he was a little boy, and his grandfather, his surrogate father figure there is encouraging him to do stronger and to be more powerful, which he does. And then, all of a sudden, the Interstellar Union Army shows up, and they introduce these new characters, Justice, Victory, and Creed. And they're pursuing the space pirates while they're having this great battle. And what happens is, of course, Shiki wins, and through remembering what his grandfather taught him. And he says that he's going to see it through and finally meet Mother. And then it turns out that this alien comes out of Elsie's robotic body there and scurries away. And then they hear on the intercom that, well, Elsie's really alive, and that was just a replica to stall and essentially give them the smaller ship, and she's got this great big fleet. And it's like, well, the Demon King wanted me to do this. I'm in league with him. That ship belonged to the Demon King Ziggy, and he searched for Mother when he was younger. But he came across you and decided to raise you, and said, you'll be destined to find Mother in his stead. So they're given the ship, and they're on their way. And this is Elsie's pirate army right there, basically stalling the Interstellar Union Army so that they can get away, which they do. And these are like the military guys who we just saw, Justice, Creed, and whoever, and that's it. And they escape, and then you see Mother again. Whoever makes it to Mother will be born again. So there's all sorts of symbolism going on with that shot right there. So that's really it. And it ends with Elsie getting away, and we now have a crew in effect with who do we have now? We have 5 people. We have Shiki, we have Rebecca, we have Happy, Pino, and Whis, or Wise. And then they look in the ship's hangar, and we get a cliffhanger here of this opening, and it says E4, to be continued. So once again, Mashima gives his afterword, talking about how he's got this crazy time travel going on, but don't worry about it. It'll make sense. And he mentions how he wanted to make Pino here, the mascot, but instead chose to make Happy the mascot because it's more recognizable to the people who watched Fairy Tail, I guess, and just making the story make sense. So essentially, he says Pino will be the mascot from here forward. But overall, I really enjoyed this volume. A lot of action, a lot of great artwork, and I'm digging the story so far, and just terrific. So thank you all for watching. Let me know your thought in the comments down below, and stay tuned to later on, because I'll be reviewing Eden Zero Volume 3, and I'm going to be picking these up as time goes on, and reviewing probably one a week. So thanks for watching, everybody. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and stay tuned for more videos coming soon. Have a great day.